Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very exciting rare car to show you today. This is a 2022 Ford GT Heritage Edition. So the Ford GT was first introduced for 2017 and became for a continuation of Ford's Halo car. The last one that they made was in 2005-2006, and this car is a complete redesign. The car is built by Multimatic. The engine is assembled in Michigan and sent to Multimatic for full carbon fiber aluminum construction. The color scheme on this car is to pay homage to the Alan Mann racing team back in the 1960s. He was the first designer to integrate lots of lightweight components like carbon fiber into the GT40 AM1 GT1 race car. This was the color of his GT40 during those Le Mans runs. This is all denoted by the white paint, white, gold, and red. Number 16 was his number, and you're gonna see how this theme is carried on throughout the rest of the car. These aren't stickers, these are actually painted on. It's a very expensive option. Headlights are full LED. They all take design cues from the original GT40. Lots of vents. The air basically sucks in here and goes through a couple radiator fans that not only offer downforce the way this front end is designed, but there's radiator fans that are built into the front end just over there. The engine is turbocharged, so you need all the cooling that you can get with this car. The headlights are really sharp. Like I said, all LED with Ford GT logos adorning the inside there. Everything about this car indicates speed. The shape of the windscreen, the elongated posts on the mirrors, the teardrop shapes of the headlights, the ground effects on the side. These are all designed to channel air up, in, and around the wheels. You see more of the number 16, which was Alan Mann's number. Another thing that you get with this Heritage Edition is the black carbon ceramic calipers. Not all Ford GTs are equipped like this, but this one is with the full carbon fiber wheels and titanium bolts. This is better for unsprung weight, and titanium bolts are also lighter as well. All cars are equipped with carbon ceramic brakes, and this car comes with Michelin Sport Cup 2 tires, which are just legal enough to drive on the street, but really shine when you're on the track. There's vents and heat exchangers everywhere for cooling, downforce, and general aerodynamics. Here you have a heat exchanger, and you also have one, this basically feeds your engine cooler. You also have a transmission cooler on the other side that's fed air. When you look at the car from the side, or you look at it from certain angles, it all looks like one piece, but you'll notice each wheel is almost fully independent beneath the bodywork with with connections like this. So if you were to stand over here, you can see that the rear wheel is almost on its own. This way the air can travel through, first of all, feed this heat exchanger, and also keep the back end down and feed air to this active spoiler, which also works as an air brake as well. It's a 325 wheel in the back, so you need a lot of meat in order to put down the power that this car has, which is about 647 horsepower. Rear wheel drive, so these are the only drive wheels that you have. These tail lights are not only function as lights, but they also function as ventilation. Through that grille is another heat exchanger. That one's for the engine oil. On the other side of that tail light is for the transmission cooler. Ford relied on the good boys at Akrapovic to create the factory exhaust for this car, so it's got a really nice snarl when the car is up and going. This spoiler is in its down position right now, but this thing is active and does a lot of different things. This will raise up and angle itself to provide different levels of downforce depending on your speed and pitch and things like that. And if you hammer those carbon ceramic brakes at certain speeds, this will flip up like this to provide an air brake and take a lot of the work off of the braking system. You have a nice glass engine cover here that shows off this Ford EcoBoost engine. A lot of people were disappointed when some people put a V6 twin turbo in this, but Ford didn't disappoint when it came to tuning this thing. So it has a really nice carbon fiber engine cover reminding you who made the engine. About 647 horsepower, which is plenty to get this thing moving. Over here is where you put your engine oil. This car has dry sump lubrication. Dry sump lubrication is part and parcel to a race car. There's no oil pan. Since there's no oil pan, it allows the engine to be situated lower. This betters your center of gravity, and also when you're relying on a pump to distribute oil throughout your engine, you're not going to be starving one cylinder bank when you're taking hard corners. Absolutely necessary when you have a car at this performance level. A really nice engineering piece is the rear diffuser on this car with these vertical fins. So what this does is it expels air from underneath the car in a way that creates a low pressure area behind the car. This all helps with downforce. It's hard to show you now, but the underside of this car is completely flat. This is all done for aerodynamics. When the car is put into special driving modes, the most aggressive being VMAX mode, the car hunkers down so as to avoid any sort of body roll whatsoever, and it almost uses downforce and aerodynamics in order to help the car stick closer to the road. Okay, now the interior of this car is just as interesting as the exterior. So we start by opening these butterfly doors. So I just push on this piece here, Electric actuator opens the door, and the door goes up by itself. You can see that the car is a full carbon fiber tub. This is for lightweight construction. The butterfly doors make it easier to get in and out. It requires a little bit of acrobatics, but not too much. So sitting in here, it's a little tight. There's not a lot of space to spare in here, but you have everything that you need. Here you have your interface for your radio, your climate control, all within very easy reach. Now the steering wheel is almost square shaped, flat top and flat bottom, wrapped in Alcantara. Everything is dry carbon on the steering wheel. You can control a lot of things from your steering wheel, from your wipers to your washer fluid, to your high beams, to your turn signals, your volume, and different menus in your completely digital instrument cluster. Probably the most fun switch on here is the one that you use to activate your different driving modes. So you have wet, normal, sport, and the extra fun one, VMAX, which we're going to show you a few of the things that happen when you put the car into that mode. This car has a few different personalities, VMAX being the most extreme. Billet aluminum shift paddles here. These are connected to a double clutch transmission, so your shifts are instantaneous. Seats are all covered in Alcantara. They have gold and red stitching, all to pay homage to Alan Mann. Just beneath here, you have the GT logo with the production number and a picture of the American flag to remind everybody where the car was designed. I think they should put a Canadian flag there since the car was built in Canada. You'll notice this is all dry carbon with this number 16 for Alan Mann's car built into the door here. Same thing on the passenger door. Alcantara headliner, nice big dash where you can see all the dry carbon that surrounds your binnacle and your dashboard. When you open the door here, you'll notice the whole door is adorned with dry carbon fiber and Alcantara door grips. Also, when you open the door, you'll expose these cast aluminum door hinges. So this is done for lightness and for strength. You can even see that they're hollow to save weight. We're talking a matter of grams, but every gram counts when you're trying to create a lightweight car. Now, the cool thing about this car is the seats. Now, the seats are actually fixed and they're made of carbon fiber, and they have the holes in them that would accommodate a 3-point or 5-point harness. But one would think, well, how do you make adjustments to different drivers? Well, you have a switch that you can pull down here that basically lets you pull your steering wheel in and out, okay? And the seats is fixed, but the pedals move. So the dead pedal actually has a little grip strip that you can put your foot on. There's a little tether that I pull here to allow movement of that. So when I do that, I can push them further away, or I let go and they come closer to me. They're all actuated by a piston. So these are the only forms of adjustment you have that would accommodate each driver. When you look over here, there's very, very few parts that this car shares with any other Ford. The only thing that I can really think of in here would probably be your window switch. But beyond that, everything that you're seeing in here is proprietary to this vehicle. Okay, let's fire the car up.
Now this is a cold start, so the car tends to start a little bit louder. You can even hear the turbo schooling through that Akrapovic exhaust system. Everything you need to know is in your digital instrument cluster. Another cool thing about your steering wheel here is the LED shift indicators. And now the car is quieted down a bit. So when I put it in VMAX mode, the car hunkers down very quickly. It drops about 50 millimeters. This is to help mitigate any body roll when you're taking corners and stuff like that. When you're on the track, this car is very sure-footed regardless as to what speed you're going at. The digital instrument cluster is laid out in the most simplest way possible, with your revs going up across the top to the edge, with your speed in the middle. This is all designed to give you just the crucial information that you need when you're on the track without distracting you with any unnecessary information.
Okay, let's take a look underneath the engine cover. This is all carbon fiber. The heaviest part of this whole piece is the glass. Here is pretty much the extent of your storage in this car. So you got room for a lunch pail and a 6-pack. All carbon fiber engine treatment, valve cover, and all the trim around the side. All stamped carbon fiber, one piece. This particular car isn't for sale at the moment, but hey, things change. So keep up on our website below, and my email is there in case you need to contact me. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.